Welcome to the Kentucky Public Pensions Authority Invoice Training Series, presented by the Employer Reporting, Compliance, and Education Division. This video will provide information on the Standard Sick Leave Invoice. Standard sick leave is a benefit created by statute that allows employees to convert their hours of unused sick leave to additional months of service at time of retirement. This chart provides you an example of the hours needed to convert to months of service credit for employees who work 4, 6, 7.5, and 8-hour days. KERS and SPRS employers reported by the Commonwealth are required to participate, and the program is administered based on statute. CERS and quasi-governmental KERS employers can opt to join the program. However, once an agency joins the program, they cannot opt out, and the program must be universally administered based on each agency's personnel policy in conjunction with statute. When an employee retires from an employer who participates in the Standard Sick Leave Program with unused sick leave, those hours are converted into months and added to the total service that the member's retirement is calculated on, which increases the retirement benefit. After a final audit is run on the employee's retirement account and all data is verified as accurate, Kentucky Public Pensions Authority will issue the Standard Sick Leave Invoice, billing the agency for the additional months of service converted from the hours that remained. The last participating KERS employer will be billed for all KERS accrued sick leave, while SPRS and CERS employers will only be billed for hours accrued while active with the specific employer. The Standard Sick Leave Invoice can be accessed through the Invoice module of the Report tab in Employer Self-Service. To view the invoice, click the invoice number hyperlink. The invoice will be a multi-page document containing the billing voucher and calculation page for a single employee of your agency. These invoices will never contain multiple employees. On the first page of the invoice, the Employer Information section provides the name, employer code, and address for the employer. The Invoice Details section includes the invoice number, due date for payment, the member information, and amount due for the invoice. Following the details are instructions on how to pay the invoice, which an agency can do either electronically in Employer Self-Service or by mailing a check or money order. If the agency chooses to pay this invoice by check or money order, they need to include the billing voucher at the bottom of page 1 along with their mailed payment. The remaining page of the invoice contains the calculation information, so the agency can see how the amount due is determined. 3 components determine the cost of the sick leave for each retired employee. These components are the employee's accrued sick leave based on a year format, times the final compensation, times the actuarial factor. The final compensation is the average salary used in the formula to calculate the employee's retirement benefits, and the factor is an actuarial value that is based on the specific employee's age, years of service credit, benefit factor, final compensation, and the amount of service being purchased. Once the invoice is issued, the agency has 30 days from the date of creation to pay the invoice. The due date can be found under the invoice details on page 1. Due to the fact that standard sick leave prices have increased, KPPA has created a tool for our employers to utilize in Employer Self-Service to help budget for the costs. If the employee is within 1 year of eligibility for retirement, up until the official invoice is generated, the employer can generate an estimated cost on the sick leave cost calculator under the Services tab. Enter the member's Social Security number, proposed retirement date, total unused sick leave hours, and the hours in a sick leave day to calculate the estimated cost. Please remember, the information provided is an estimate based on the numbers you are inputting, created for budgeting purposes only. This is not the final cost for the employee's sick leave. Thank you for viewing the Standard Sick Leave Invoice Training. If an agency has questions regarding any of their invoices, they may contact their ERCE team through the employer hotline and ask to speak to the invoice specialist.